Today, we are at Difference Engine, a comic publisher based in Singapore. And we are here to meet a very interesting person who has been in book selling and publishing for over a decade now. She is a co-author of a famous children's series, detective comic, Sherlock's Sam. And she loves napping, eating chocolates, and is quite geeky. So let me introduce you to Felicia Low, publisher and co-founder of Difference Engine. Thank you, Felicia. Thanks for your time, and thanks for having us over here. So I've got a few questions for you. Okay. So tell me about Difference Engine. How did it all get started?
So Difference Engine is a young independent publisher. We're based in Singapore, but we publish content from all of Southeast Asia.
Right.
And it got started because our director had a dream of starting up a comic publishing company.
Right.
So he approached me, asked whether I wanted to start up a comics publishing company, and I said yes. And that's how Difference Engine got started.
I was quite intrigued by the name Difference Engine because when I searched online, the very first thing comes obviously your company name and the engine, okay, which I think was invented by Charles Babbage, if I'm not wrong, the first computer. So give me a little bit insight about what does the name really mean and how did you guys come about it?
Yeah, so the Difference Engine is actually a 19th century mechanical calculator. And there was a young lady back then, her name was Ada Lovelace, and she was actually inspired by the Difference Engine to work with Charles Babbage on the analytical engine.
Right.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a catalyst of change for her, the Difference Engine. So we picked Difference Engine because we wanted our comics to be like a similar thing, like a catalyst of change for people who read our comics. Yeah, and Ada Lovelace ended up being the first female computer programmer. So that was very exciting.
I also went through your website and I also saw something called DE Shorts. Okay, just obviously you guys are doing a lot of comic books. So I was just quite intrigued by what does DE Short means?
DE Shorts are shorter length comics, so almost zine length comics. And each of our DE Shorts are standalone comics that focus on social issues that the team and I guess society is interested in. So that's a little bit different from our main publishing line, just Difference Engine Publishing.
I see. You recently did a project with Miss Izian, okay, and we had an opportunity to meet her too, okay. Would you like to tell us what was the whole project about? How did it all get started? Give us a little bit more about Miss Izian's project.
Yeah, so Izian's project came about because the Difference Engine team is largely female run. We do have a designer who is a guy, but he's also very open to many different kinds of discussions we had. So we spent a lot of time talking about periods in the team because most of the team experiences periods. So we thought that it would be a good first DE Shorts to start a conversation with the general public about menstruation and periods. Izian was one of the comic creators that we immediately pinpointed because she just has a very sensitive, thoughtful style, and she can articulate like difficult ideas very simply, visually as well. So we started working with her. And she took the idea, she ran with it, she spoke to the team members, she interviewed other people, and she came up with like a short anthology of stories all around like periods and menstruation.
So let's say if a new designer or let's say a new storyteller wants to collaborate with you guys, how should he or she go about doing that?
We're really open. So on our website, we have a contact us section. And if you click on that menu, we have a submissions page. So all the full details of how to contact us is there.
So I've also seen that on your website, you guys conduct a lot of workshops. Like the last time we went to a workshop when you were doing with Izian. Okay, so tell us more about what kind of workshops do you guys do, and what is the whole purpose around these workshops and activities.
So in the past, when we first started, the DE team ourselves were conducting comic creation workshops to kind of like share the idea of how comics are created, which is very different from like how prose novels are created. But as we started publishing more and more titles, we got our creators who worked on those titles to run the workshops.
Right.
Because the idea was to get them talking to the audience, their audience. Yeah, so we run workshops like the one we ran at Izian.
Right.
We also run workshops that are focused more on like science and technology. And we also have just basic comic creation workshops. They focus both on the art, but also on the storytelling as well.
And then you had a recent collaboration with Gum2. Okay, okay. I'd like to know more about that. What was the whole idea? How did the idea come about? And how was the experience working with Gum2? And how did you use those products?
So we actually worked with Gumtree one time before this to create a sticker sheet
Right.
of Ada's adventure stickers, and the experience was really, really positive. The product was pretty and like it was very well received. So this time around, when we wanted to create more merchandise, we immediately thought of Gumtree. And my marketing person, Josephine, together with our designers, worked on the design, and they liaised with Gumtree. And we were able to have like, if I'm not mistaken, it was the stickers and
The pins. Yeah.
So I think the working experience was very smooth. Like even though it was under pandemic conditions, Gumtree replied us very, very quickly, and the end product was almost exactly what we envisioned when we thought about the products.
In fact, we're very happy and very excited to work with you guys, because what we get a lot of time is your very creative designs, a lot of creativity flowing in. So we really love working on those designs. So yeah, so we're more than happy to work more with you guys in the future. Now I'd like to know about, obviously we have been hit by pandemic, a lot of things have slowed down. Okay, but this year looks pretty exciting. Okay, so what is in the pipeline for you guys? How does 2022 look for Difference Engine?
It's going to be a really exciting year for us. This is the first time we are publishing 5 titles. Previously, we published a couple of titles each year. So we will have a young adult title, a children's title, a couple of DE shorts, and our very first, our second adult title. But the adult title also comes with an interactive story.
Okay.
So we're doing like quite different things this year.
So you're going to launch this, is that a plan you launch once a month or once in 2 months, or is it like, okay, we'll see how it goes?
Yeah, we've already planned a launch for our first DE shorts, which is focused on mental health.
Right.
So we'll be launching in May during Mental Health Month. And then the children's title will be publishing closer to June, tied in with the Asian Festival of Children's Content.
Right.
The later titles will be in the second half of the year to give my team a little break from the rush of the events, right? The 3 titles that we'll be publishing, another one is a DE short on pregnancy loss. So we're timing it again with a period where it would be the most suitable. And the one that we're also very excited about is called Work-Life Balance.
Right.
But it's set in like a underworld and how you navigate work-life balance while working for demons. So we're hoping to launch that during Halloween.
Lovely. But how do you market, when you're publishing the book and all? How do you, because obviously pandemic, that has been hit pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, we had to pivot to fully online book launches and stuff like that, but the sales were a fraction of what it would have been.
I know what
because
you
we're a
mean.
new brand and all our titles are debut titles.
Right.
Just like it's been really, really difficult.
I know, I can imagine, yeah.
But I guess the good thing is that it allowed us to focus on creating the content itself.
Correct.
Yeah, so now we have a good portfolio of titles with more coming up this year.
Right.
So now it's just like figuring out how to reach and sell.
Correct. I know what you mean. I think similar thing happened with us when we also got a chance to at least build a portfolio. Otherwise, in the normal course of the thing, with a limited resource in terms of team, those things get really, really pushed back.
Yeah.
So some good things have happened because of COVID though. It really fascinates me that, a lot of comics which we, obviously the kind of comics which I have read in the early days of my life, they don't cater to, they don't address the social issues. Okay, so what I clearly see is a lot of focus on the social issues and comic as a means to, spread it out. Okay, so that's pretty fascinating work you guys are doing. Yeah. So one last question. Okay, so when you launch these books, okay, so let's say somebody wants to buy these comic books, where should a person go and buy?
Our books are available in most major bookstores, both physical bookstores and online bookstores, but we're also launching our own e-commerce platform in April. So
Lovely.
That's another avenue for people to buy our books.
Awesome. I think that concludes my interview. Well, thank you so much, for your time. Thank you so much. Yeah.